Very, very good evening on this 21st of August, 2026. And welcome to Arunfoot here on YouTube. Welcome once again. My name is Arunava Chaudhuri. And on this Friday, we'll talk about things in regard to Indian football. As you see in the picture above, Manuel Marquez has landed in Mumbai as the new Mumbai City FC head coach. Yesterday, of course, Mohun Bagan defeated Northeast United in Durand Cup. And yeah, and then therefore, we'll speak about the Brazil recce visit to Kolkata and other things as well. But at the start, as I always like to say, please do like, please do share, please do subscribe to Arun Foot here on YouTube. Visit my short videos, which I try and do on a regular basis. And today it's something in regard to could YouTube be a good option or not? In the last few days, of course, did something on FC Goa and East Bengal in regard to the respective opponents in the AFC Challenge League and ACL 2. Can you sell ISL or IFL clubs to lower divisions, yes or no? And of course, at the start of the week, Zohaib and I did our respective OCI 11 and other things in regard to, the Tata move to sell their team and other things. So therefore, please like, please share, and please subscribe. The Brazil delegation came to inspect playing conditions in Kolkata, which they say we're not satisfied, and the FF would as important was Asian Cup, ASEAN Cup. Or that has nothing to do with each other. If the Brazilians say good or bad, that doesn't do anything. Um, you know what? Again, I could have told you without the Brazilians inspecting Kolkata, what will be their main issues. Again, very simple, recce issues that you have. Hotels will not be a problem. Transport will not be a problem. They will raise a few things in regard to security. They will talk about a few things in regard to what they would like to have as meals and other things, or if you, you know, and yeah, Salt Lake Stadium ground is an issue, was an issue, and so therefore, yeah, let's wait and see what happens, and uh, let's see where we go with this. Have you shortlisted for ISL CEO post? No, Harsh, I have not been. Supposedly has been or is going to happen. Interviews with 7 people. Supposedly, again, there was no information, but someone seems to have told me that there is something. There were some people that have been in touch in the last few days who international people who had applied for the role and they hadn't heard back. So then I tried to reach out to someone who might be a little bit better informed on what's happening. And that person said, supposedly there's a list of 7 and they've been told and supposedly also interviewed. And I'm not on that list. So I expect that I was not in the topics of the gentlemen who are deciding this. Do you follow basketball and what's your view on that? Could Indian Basketball League, IBL, became second sports league in India? Harsh, I don't follow Indian basketball, to be any honest. When I was younger, I used to actually follow quite a bit of NBA, which has also died out a little with age. I have to be honest. I do follow German international basketball. Germany's been very successful. They're world champions as well as European champions, and but on IBL and second sports league, Harsh, there's a lot of things. Supposedly, Kabaddi was the second sport league. This was the second sport league after IPL. This, that, everything. With all our struggles, still football most probably is the number 2 in India, right? So therefore, let's wait and see what they do. I said, Given Thash was spamming same thing on KL channel as well. So what someone does, what does someone doesn't do, it's up to them. And if they're asking questions, please do. Again, it's the same thing as in this channel and on those other channels. Just do me that favor when you're here, don't spam things as I try and answer everybody's questions. So, like everybody who wants to ask a question, and has the decency, courtesy to write things in a proper way, I'll try and answer. There's the one other thing where when it gets and it might be inappropriate, or it might be racist, misogynistic or something, that's what, then I won't do it. But just keep in that. So that's the thing. Sir, I told you about the YouTube thing idea a week ago. Yeah, you spoke about it, but as someone has told me that a while back, and I sum up my ideas on in that short video, given the realities of what things are, because I think the broadcasters aren't too keen, whatever the guys are saying. So let's wait and see. Hey Raj, welcome back to the channel. ISL 2.0 aim is max reach, and love the idea more people should be connected to Indian football. Is it? Sure, that's your assumption, right? So therefore, for me, um, to me, the idea is not to reach max people. You know, um, so therefore, for me, the aim is to reduce losses, um, and try to figure out, um, yeah, try to generate more money for the system. A few days ago, in one of your live sessions, I was asking why ISL doesn't have YouTube live streams of the games. I'm very happy that they're considering YouTube streaming for the ISL games. Yazoo, yeah. But the one thing which I didn't discuss in my video, which maybe I should have discussed, is the question of, will they then consider doing streams which are always free to access, or you have to buy a game pass, a team pass, a monthly pass, right? That's the question. If the ISL are offering all of that just for free, will they do that, right? Hi, Krish. I'm good. New origin. Bengali origin name Arjun Dasgupta Vise. Singapore. Weir Karan. Sabti Singapore. Sagar Patel. Krish Patel. Arjun Shah. Okay. So what's your thoughts on Brazil's Euro played in Kerala? Who's playing in Kerala? And to me, there are two questions. Are we playing Cape Verde? Let me start with that question. Has that been sorted? Right? Because I thought some people have been selling that that's done. If what I understand, and but Brazil, Uruguay, who's going to pay for it? Brazil has its asking price, Uruguay has its asking price. Yeah. So all of this is nice to think about. Who's going to pay for all of this? That's my simple question. People are throwing around things as if it's the most normal thing. Yeah, you know what? Brazil could play Uruguay in Kerala and Kochi. Okay. Who's paying for, right, the combined fee? Hi, Blue. Welcome back. Good to see you. AFS deficit of 14 crore. They will now have to break the FTs. Who says that, Shom? Baichung Bhutia. My question to Bhutia is, does the AFF still have FDs to break? Baichung is throwing around numbers. My question is, are those numbers right? Right? So we will have to wait and see if those things mentioned in those are right or wrong. Right? To me, throwing around things and saying, oh, you know what, these are the realities, this is the thing, this is what's happened. Nice to have. But my question to Bhutia would be is like, do you know that, or are you just saying that at the moment? Right? To me, at least as far as I know, I don't think the FF has an FD to play even one installment of the money needed to play the Brazilians. So why don't you make videos and do PR like a certain percent? The FF is scared of me, so they're not considering me. Raj, it's not the FF. I don't see the FF having a problem. I think the ISL clubs have a problem. Right? So that's, I think, we should rather have a conversation about those guys than about those guys. So your problem lies on the other side. So your ISL potentially in YouTube video. I think it's a great idea in my opinion. Many people who never saw ISL will see it. It's streamed here. Yes, Blue. That's my point. No, that's the idea. Maybe to think about and say, does this work? Is this an out of box idea thought, which could sort of galvanize new people? But the question to me is, at the end of the day, is, can you as an ISL say, you know what, I'm putting the whole season on YouTube and it's free for everyone to watch? Yeah. So that's another question, because Indian football fans say a lot. Uh, yeah, but Are they willing to pay for it? And fan code, you know, it's not going to work. If ISL stream in YouTube, and the brand value of the ISL clubs will get reduced. Who says that, Raj? What's the brand value of an ISL club? 100 rupees? Yeah. So that's the reality. That's the reality. So, and I think GeoStar will be the best option. GeoStar is not on the table. Raj, best, it's not the best option because it's not an option. GeoStar is not an option because Reliance is gone. Tata, bye bye. Lovely that you think it's an option. It's not an option, right? Z didn't bid, Sony didn't bid, Star didn't bid, Geo didn't bid. Fanco did, only one, zero sum. Let's stream ISL on YouTube as the valuation could be said zero. The valuation is zero, not could be said zero. Raj, if you do a tender process for the media rights, you put in a figure in that, you reduce the figure twice, and you still get a zero, then your value is zero. Don't forget last season, Fancode gave you 1.5 crores as OTT value, 10 lakhs as a broadcast value. Right? If you I we like it or not, that's the reality of where we stand. Right? You know? You know? And let's see. Sir, I heard that someone wrote some kind of letter using ChatGPT to CAS. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? They can make it memberships only to give pseudo season pass. True, that's the point. Right? To me, it's very, very clear that um, it will be very interesting to see what format. I will pay game team monthly pass to watch on YouTube. Great. Yazoo. Again, but how many Indian football fans will do that? Right? Because there's another area which is our illegal streams, right? Cabo Verde game has not been confirmed, but talks are person ever tweeted actually started those Cabo Verde rumors. Yeah, sure, but why Shaji Prabhakaran of all people tweeting about Cabo Verde would be my question. What is his thing in this whole conversation? Guys, you jump up and down with things when nothing is confirmed, but even sometimes some people think about what are you talking about? Right? Someone started saying, oh, you know what? Brazil wants a second game somewhere. Oh, brilliant. Brazil wants a second. Oh, you know what? Kochi, they could play, right? And then second game in India doesn't make sense. Who's traveling in Asia? Oh, you know what? Uruguay is around. Oh, why doesn't Brazil play Uruguay? Hmm? But I think at least some matches should be completely free to attract more people. Maybe like a match as an ad. Blue, I totally agree. Let's say you make it a paid system, but you have, I don't know, one match a week or one in five matches, which is sort of freely available, prime time, Um, so therefore, for me, you need to find a way. But if people are thinking, oh, you know what, they'll put it on YouTube and everything is free, Google Ads is not going to sell it, right? That's your problem. The production quality matters in increasing reach, and last year production was so worst. Harsh, you're not going to get better production because the days of Reliance and FSDL is gone, right? That is where your prime production was because they were willing to invest into the product. And we're having a problem in that product because no one is investing in that product. If a product you are investing into the league, into the media production of the league, 100 crores a season, and then you're saying, you know what, do the same thing for 15, 20 crores, then you will see it, then you will feel it, right? Right. And therefore there are basics which you're not going to do. And that is the problem why the production cost is down. Now that we lost to Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Hong Kong, Singapore, do we really need to play Brazil for boosting our morale, or we should have been to ASEAN Cup at this Kalyan time? Anupam, to me, if you come from a sporting logic, I would have said ASEAN Cup is better for us. But if I have to look at from an AFF perspective and forget Kalyan Chaube as an individual in this, the AFF is in a very precarious situation. The AFF needs to raise money. The ISL by itself is unable to raise money. IFL by itself is unable to raise money. So those are things where normally, your 50 crores came in because of that top tier league. And again, the second tier league was actually the one which benefited the most out of it. Now your thing is, I need to make money. And if you think, my thinking as an outsider would be that the AFF thought process here is very, very simple. Let's try and make money and via this Brazil game to generate funds for the federation. That would be my thought, right? It's no political ploy to election this, election that. Listen, the election, if you know how things run in India of today, then it will be decided 10 to 7 days before the election who's going to stand in what position and who could win. So therefore, all of this, if people are telling you what it's like, it's like, seriously, are people that ignorant in telling you, oh, you know what, he's doing this for political things and he's writing his people and this and that, everything, right? Yeah. So this YouTube thing will be done for first 2-3 seasons only to engage fans from various parts of the world. These sports should also come and show matches so that people who have those old style TV can. Show him there is no 2-3 year plan. Well, I don't know where you're getting that from now. I think they will do it for 1 year and hope the valuation goes up a little bit, and then next year someone comes in and actually buys the rights. Just one party that would sneak in could be Star Sports, Sony, and Z have concrete interest. Let's watch it. Who's saying that? Has anyone spoken to Z or to Sony in the last few days? Where is there an interest? Right? Again, this is Shom. There is no interest from the television channels. Even Fancourt said no to you with any figures. There is no interest. Why is this YouTube discussion coming up? Guys, if broadcasters were interested, this YouTube discussion wouldn't be even coming up. We are here because there is no interest. Right? Get that please right. Zero sum YouTube is better than zero sum fan code. That's the question, no? That's a good question, Blue. So yeah, most probably, at least outside of India, and I found that not as smart from fan code last year to put the international broadcast on YouTube as a paid platform. Right? So it's zero, so no options anyways. Yeah, it's they should do free YouTube stream first 2 years, then do free YouTube stream for regular season and post season pay for it. Yeah, so I don't think, again, forget you 2 years. If you would ask me what to do, try it for 1 year, put it on a paid platform, right? Or even on YouTube, either via members or pay per game or whatever. There's all of this is possible. Have once a week or 1 in 5 matches, which is freely available. And let's see. YouTube has great features that they have added, like you can switch to your own native language as well. So that's nice, but again, it's still YouTube, right? So don't, yeah. Read some article that Brazil showed concern about the ground condition now. A random thought: Brazil cancels the match. No ASEAN, no Brazil. Just the thought. Bravo. The ground condition has been raised on the 20th of August. It is enough time to sort that out for the local authorities in Kolkata, which is the West Bengal government / the AFF. And then let's see what they do. Yeah. And that's and your thought is very nice, but I rather would say, rather than the ground condition, rather I would say if the money is not paid in full to Brazil, then they would not turn up. That would be my bigger fear. Right? So the AFF have to raise the money to pay Brazil to come and play. Oh, Gizzard, good vibes. Okay, so is it true that it's necessary to have a complete exco term to contest AFF elections? Yes, Harsh, that is needed. Google also want to get into sports market, and this perfect time to get into it. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe again, the question is, What value does Google see in this, right? Sergeant Coupon, Anil, no, they are not brothers. By the way, let me tell you, if Airfares generate revenue from this and it's done and dusted. Accounting books of Airfares all over the place. Ashi is gonna make video on AFF. Show him it is all over. On I mean, no one needs to make a video on that. I've told you now for a while. They are, since the 50 crores of Reliance is no longer there. The AFF is on a tight, tight financial schedule. And therefore, for me, it's very, very simple. I've said this now multiple times that they need to generate funds. Is any sponsor or anything, this, that, everything coming in? And again, it seems to be that this Brazil game is for them more logical than anything else to generate money. Because no one's coming in to sponsor in a big way or even in a small way for the Indian Super League, for the IFL, Indian Women's League, whatever. Right? This Brazil game was the best option for generating funds for the federation. I don't know, RS, if this is the best way of generating funds, but tell me way for the federation to generate funds. I mean, genuine question to anyone: how could the AFF have generated funds at this moment in time, given those realities? A big game most probably is the best way. Any other game you would play, would be a cost to you, and in most games, India would be losing money. Let's be very, very clear. And again, does it make sense? Can be spoken about from a sporting perspective, most probably not. But from a financial perspective, it's easier to most probably raise that kind of money than raise, I don't know, 5 to 10 crores and then make a 1 or 2 crore profit on things, which is not happening. Right? Indian football is a very difficult sellable product. This match will be sold if it's sold because of Brazil, not because of India. The AFF would make money because Brazil is coming. It is not making money because the Blue Tigers are playing. The Blue Tigers are as valuable as the Indian Super League, as the Indian Football League, as the Indian Women's League. All big zero. I'm back after a while. Simple math: 13 club, total 13 crores, no other sponsor partner. So as the operation will run with the 13 crore budget. No, Ochut, it's 1.1 crore. So that means we're talking about 14.3 crores. So you've got 1.3 crores more per in total. There's been some central revenue income which has come in via data rights sale to Sport Radar, and EA Sports has put in something. So there's a little bit more money coming in. I think that the central budget to run the ISL will be higher, and maybe the clubs will have to put in more. Yeah. So let's see. I saw in news that Brazil delegation is not satisfied with the stadium. Nazari, they're not satisfied with the stadium. The stadium is fine. It's about the grass. And the grass has been a topic for a while anyway. So if anyone is surprised that someone with an international team would raise the topic of the grass of the Salt Lake Stadium, even now during the monsoons, again, if someone's surprised, then sorry, then you don't know realities. Bengal is a football crazy state, but the ground condition of the third tier in Bengal League is so bad, no investment in infrastructure. Orithro, what do you expect, right? So that's the thing, right? Kerala buses, FC update. Miss Smiley, girl and friend, no updates at the moment. Takeover still not done. And no decision regarding allowing the sale. And so we'll have to wait and see. And again, I don't know if the valuation has gone down because of this whole Tata thing, that they might rediscuss the valuation of the club. Brazil asked for denser grass. Don't know what that means. Anyway, that's an easy problem to solve. What you know? It's actually, you have to remove the whole playing surface and actually get a new one. The problem is, you know how Kolkata grass is. For me, the biggest problem is the way the Kolkata grass naturally grows. Right? So let's see. As fans, whom do we trust? Random news coming in. Next day, it turns out to be fake one, or somebody said it's fake, or PR drama. It's hard to be an Indian football fan. Mahesh, it's not hard to be an Indian football fan. I don't think it's hard to be an Indian football fan. You need to know who do you trust. And to me, I think anybody saying something, I first question. Anybody and everybody. There's nobody that I would say I trust. Even people who you say are trustworthy, to me are not trustworthy. because certain news is placed, certain wrong information news is placed with people and being sold into the market. Hey, this is true, this is true, this is true. And there are other things where you say, um, so therefore for me, yeah, don't fall for it. Because most of the information that people are putting out are not true. I'm not heard people saying the Brazil game could divert Ismo of any investor for the next few years. How come any truth to that? No. How, Anupam, what has the Brazil game, and this is what Baichung Bhutia said, right? Bhutia, what are you saying? It makes no sense. What Baichung said is, oh, because people and Bengal is going to spend the money on the game, therefore East Bengal is not getting its sponsors. No, and, hey, Baichung, you're going to the club. You don't have the guts to call out Nituda, then don't talk about these things. Right? That is your problem. Call out Nituda and the guys and say, listen, you guys messed it up. You made the third investor over less than a decade walk out of you. Right? That is the thing but that will not be called out by Baichung. That will not be called out by the fans. Oh, you know what? Oh, what did he say? The AFF, if it raises that much of money, should pay 15, 20 crores to East Bengal because they're representing India in AFC Champions League 2. Total rubbish. So that's the crazy part, Anupam. Makes no sense. No sense. That's why the people are saying, oh, the 420 grams interview is good. Yeah, there are certain legit points that Baichung raises, but there are a lot of questions that those people who know Baichung Bhutia are laughing about because a lot of things that he said is actually illogical. Bhutia said that we should boycott Brazil match. I mean, why we boycott? What's your take on this, sir? Because complete rubbish. Why would you see, we could boycott. Will it matter? No. Do you think that 67,000 people, the stadium will not be full? There are people around the world who are asking me about this game. There are people who are willing to come and fly in from Europe, from North America, from other parts of Asia, from even Africa to watch India play Brazil. We boycotting the game. Great, great, brilliant. Will it have any impact? Nada. And Baichung, even in that same thing, said, you know what? If I get an invite, I would turn up. What are we talking about? Capo Verde and Uruguay are legit news. Bravo, at the moment, Capo Verde is being spoken about, and Uruguay, no. Uruguay is not. If we're looking at funding Brazil, then you can't fund Uruguay. Uruguay is too costly for you in this given scenario. So therefore, this whole Uruguay conversation out, even Capo Verde, I think charges more than people are saying in the market, and therefore I find it very difficult. You know, you know what? I may oppose Brazil match technically, but right now it's a much needed thing from many angles. Ochud, you've understood it. As always, brother, you've understood it. You know what is happening here, there, everywhere, and it needs certain things are needed, and it makes sense. Yeah. So therefore, these are things which are there. I might not like it. You might not like it. We not like it. But hey, if AFF wouldn't be able to pay the money committed to Brazil Federation, then Brazil Federation will sue AFF and CAS. No, why would they go to CAS zone? I don't know why. Again, for certain things, why would they go to CAS? What has this got to do with CAS? There are fines and all those things stipulated in in the contract. Why would I need to go to CAS if they don't pay? I wonder if the federation is so desperate for funds that they are doing these games for that. Then why are they not do another MRA with Reliance again or something else? Why not approach Reliance again? Ego issue. RS Reliance is gone. Reliance is history. The government doesn't. The Supreme Court stepped in and said the AFF cannot get rid of that. The AFF has to run the league and own the league. There is no chance of an MRA. Your MRA opportunity was there 18 months ago when Reliance gave you a certain form of an MRA. You didn't take it. The Supreme Court stopped it. That opportunity is gone. It has nothing to do with egos. Why will AFF try like? Sorry, Blue. Let me read this again. Will AFF try like Messi when raising ticket prices to roofs, or they have to follow some rules? Blue. Why? Who's going to set the rules for ticket pricing? It's on the AFF, and this is Brazil. It's not some Indian Super League match or Duran Cup game where the cheap tickets are gonna cheap. You know, so it will be um, it will be costly, right? Again, what is the rumor at the moment? 2,500 to 25,000 a ticket, right? They have to raise money for this, so it's not going to be $200 to see Brazil in Kolkata. And what will AF's main profit comes? Blue, if you are able to cover the cost of not only Brazil's fees, but the match organization, the stay, the security, and doing them everything which is involved, you should be able to raise 5 to 10 crores from the game. If you should be able to raise even, you know, so therefore I do think that is doable. Even a badly organized AFF, because the AFF is handing out certain contracts of those of elements of organizing them or doing sponsorship and match ticketing and all that stuff to external agencies who will of course take their share, but I still think that the AFF can make money. Short-term gain is long-term loss. Okay. J League 2, J League 3, Brazil, ASA's Turkey to stream a few games a week on YouTube. Uzbekistan will stream all of their games on YouTube. Yazoo, but again, they are streaming outside of their home markets. See the mistake that people are doing when we talk about YouTube. As far as I know, all these, even the German Bundesliga 2 streams in certain markets. I think one or I don't even know if all or some matches outside of Germany, right? So therefore, each individual market needs to be looked at what they're doing. I don't know what is true or not, but one thing is for sure, India is being killed. Okay, Shoham. Why Duran Cup final so less hype? Literally, most people don't know it. Blue, was the Duran Cup being hyped at all properly this year? Yeah. So therefore, for me, um, the Duran Cup came and went. I think what the Duran Cup organizers did wrong is by just giving it to Sony and not making it, for example, internationally available. Um, didn't push the product. Could have pushed the product in a much bigger, much better way, but they didn't, right? And there's again, if you see who's reached the latter stages of the tournament, then you know that there's been a lack of quality in the Duran Cup this year. And if we like it or not, those are some of the realities. So therefore, let's see where we stand. Right, 33 plus minutes on this live on this Friday evening here on Arun Foot. Once more, the reminder, if you haven't, please do leave a like. Please share it. And if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. 11 likes so far. There are 27 of you watching. So please do like it. Share it with other people to join in our very honest conversation. And 4,756 is the current number of subscribers, which would mean 254 to reach the 5,000 mark. Yeah, we're just floating around at the moment. It's going up and down between 4,759 and 4,754. Seems to be going up and down. Yeah, help me to grow the channel. And then do watch also my content on Instagram, on X, on Threads. Visit arunfoot.com, and thank you as always for your support. One day ISL becomes best league in Asia. Yeah, Shom, we're very, very far away from that. I feel like the Brazil game is very risky. It's like betting the current AFC situation on one game. This is nuts. This is like a circus going bankrupt. There's one last Hail Mary shot to survive. Yazoo, yeah, it is. You know why? Because if this fails, I don't see the current AFF continuing after December. Right? Right. So therefore, it's a high stake gamble, right? But to me, very honestly, this AFF has been unable to get any sponsorship in over the last few years, right? The only deal that's happened was 2023, the Indigo deal, which then the marketing manager of the AFF or the marketing in charge of the AFF, Prithijit Das, was able to do. That's the only deal. The AFF has done no sponsorship deal in the last few years or in the last 4 years since these guys have come in. No proper deal where money is flowing from this side to that. There's done some barter deals, but other things, nothing has happened. As an administrator, what would you do? Your shop has shabby products and no customers are coming. Somehow the best product in the market lands up. Will you not try to sell it? Ochut, very well explained. And this is the problem, no? Uh, to me, you know, that's, and tried to explain it. And this is the sad part, right? I don't see anybody else trying to explain it to you this way that I've tried to explain it. You know, so you know, so therefore for me is yeah. And this is the problem of all these conversations that I'm seeing across the board. People are having. This is sorry again. It's lack of knowledge and understanding of things in the Indian football ecosystem, which just gets exposed around such a game massively, right? So yeah, I think maybe what Baichung Bhutia meant was that if AFF asks assistance from Bengal government, won't have the appetite to help out again for East Bengal to fund an investor like what happened previous government did. No, RS, that is not interlinked. I don't know why Baichung Bhutia specifically mentioned a figure. He didn't say help them find a corporate. And interesting, the new government has not stepped in. Forget Mohammedan Sporting in this discussion. They've not stepped in for East Bengal, right? East Bengal is still looking for an investor. East Bengal season is also not funded, right? But Baichung clearly said if the government is willing to give figure whatever, 50 crores, I think is what he mentions, then that money rather should not be spent on Brazil, rather spend 15, 20 crores for East Bengal play the ACL too. That's what he said. And I don't think that's the job of the Bengal government to do, right? To spend that. So therefore, I think for the Bengal government also, there's a lot at stake, right? Now with the BJP government in charge, after yesterday, the first inspection having happened, the Bengal government need to ensure that this doesn't become another messy fiasco. Because if it becomes a messy fiasco in its own right, in a different way, but also becomes a fiasco, it's the end of a number of people in that government. It's the end most probably of Kalyan Chaube. But for people like me who work in international football, I should never again mention Indian football. It is embarrassing. You know, I just wish that the Brazil match was streamed live outside India. Maybe streamed outside India, Uchut. Maybe also it's maybe shown somewhere in America. Who knows? I'm waiting for March 2027 when some random team comes and knocks us out in round one. Yeah, I'm sure. Let's wait and see. 15 years ago, Argentina vs Venezuela match at Kolkata was pretty costly. That too, no bucket seats. I was in the middle tier. We had the call. Yeah, Uchut, that was pre-ISL, right? Certain things happened around 2014. A lot of things happened around 2017 of the Under 17 World Cup. Yes, and I can credit myself for that because I raised a lot of topics with FIFA in March 2017. Even there's a video of the state of the Salt Lake Stadium on this very, very channel. And that video made FIFA act, made the Bengal government act, and they rectified a lot of things. So therefore, yes. Yeah, those are the realities. So it is made illegal by Supreme Court for the federation to another MRA or like not have reliance and promo in the league. Why is court deciding the decision for federation? RS at the moment, no commercial partner per se for the for the league or leagues, right? The Supreme Court has stepped in. The FF should have told them doesn't work this way, but no one has come. There was some YouTuber who brought rights of World Cup in some country. It was regional. Yeah, Babalu's animation. Some of this has been happening, right? So YouTube also is fighting now Netflix, right? So the interesting part is that some shows who've been freely available on YouTube have now gone to Netflix, and now people are, YouTube is telling people, hey, stay on our platform to top level content creators rather than going for hefty money towards Netflix or even others are going to step in, right? It's YouTube has to fight to keep its pace. Then it's good if they get the money, bro. That's the point. But let's wait and see. I think Brazil match is much more worthy than click selfie with Messi paying lots of money. Because I would normally say it's not comparable because, as you say, Messi is a one-off. Comes picture this, a match is a different thing. And the thing is that I think a lot of people think they can take pictures here, there, and everywhere. Forget it. Please talk about Udishorsi third foreign signing. Soumya, I'm not talking about any foreign signings at the moment because that's not my real focus. There's a lot of speculation of this is players going here, that player is going there, or this guy is signed here, this signed, and a lot of these deals are not done. Duran Cup committee didn't publicize it this year like the few of the previous ones. Don't know why. Ochud, I think maybe even their budgets are strained and they are have reduced their marketing spend. Just a thought. I don't know. I'm just saying. I just hope I don't have to watch us lose 7-8 nil. That's it. Blue, I said, if we can lose 0-3 or 1-3, excellent. 0-4 to 0-6 would most probably be normal. 7-0 downwards, it gets a little tough. During games were unwatchable. Watch the Mohanbagan Supergiant was Northeast United FC game. Bad ground, but even worse display. By both. And this is the problem, Blue. No? Why have only 5 ISL teams committed to playing the Duran Cup this year? Because most of these teams were indirectly army, government from their respective states or cities. Yeah, that's the reason. Hey, Utsav, welcome back. Brazil itself in sending their main team anyway, so that's the actual point. Don Carlos said that he will bring next gen boys who will play 2030 World Cup. Sure, that might be what Don Carlo is saying, but Don Carlo will be forced to play or get some of the superstars in because that will be in the respective contracts, right? If you're not bringing XYZ player, you might get a little bit less money here or there. So therefore, you might know this, you might think you know it, but that. And Brazil also knows for marketing purposes is it will need people, right? I remember in 2011 a lot of people saying, "Oh, Messi will not turn up. No, Messi will not play. Messi will not play. This he won't play for Argentina in Kolkata. The ground is not good. This is not good. That is not." Listen, it was in the contract. Messi turned up and Messi played. So So let's see. So this thing that you said about 2023 Indigo deal, I said that a week ago, and you said that Intercash market wasn't helped in breaking the deal. I don't know what you said, Shom. I've been saying this for a while, so therefore I don't know what you said, but you know, in your opinion, if you had a chance to swap a team in place of FC Goa, who would you choose if Mohamed Sujin, how far do you think you could do good? It's a speculative, you don't know. Mohun Bagan has been one of the poorest teams from India to play in continental competition. So if you think in theory they are this strong, they're that strong, and they're going to get results, they don't get results at continental level. Don't ask me why. East Bengal has been successful over decades. For Indian standards, they've been the most successful team, if you see that over years. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I'm from Ranchi and I can assure Duran Cup was crazy here. They were ready to go in full lines for match tickets 2 days before matches. Even the quarter-final game didn't include ensure still huge attendance. Shubham, that is most probably the most positive standout of this Duran Cup, the attendance in Ranchi. My question now, if you can answer me this, will be interesting. Um, why do you do, why is that? I don't know Ranchi well enough, so I would ask you why if you're a little bit in the football circles and fans, why do you think suddenly that there is this massive interest that Ranchi was the sort of sellout location, not sellout, but most well attended location in this Duran Cup? Arunava, to understand that they have need money to sustain itself, but doesn't this malign the Indian name in international stage? I mean, FIFA wanted us in ASEAN, and the way we handled, will they again? Uh, I guess will they again invite us? Anupam, I said that yesterday. Um, China also said no, no. China and India were included. China then said, you know what? For our Asian Cup preparations, we don't need to play too many ASEAN teams. We are, um, you know, um, yeah, right. So that's China. Then India looked at things. India said, oh, you know what? We'll send a B team, and our A team will have to play Brazil, blah blah. And then FIFA said no. But you know what I've said in the last 2 days? And again, I doubt anybody. And this is what I say. There are a lot of people who will tell you, oh, you know what? FIFA will be angry. ASEAN will be angry. They will never ever invite us. They're so far from the truth. And I'll explain you why. FIFA has created the ASEAN Cup, the FIFA ASEAN. And this is a crazy one, right? The ASEAN Championship is just finishing off. And a few weeks later, you're paying the FIFA ASEAN Cup. And I've heard it now from friends within federations in ASEAN who said, we don't care actually about the FIFA ASEAN Cup. But again, it's happening in our region, so we're playing, right? So I feel that the importance that Indian football fans have given the FIFA ASEAN Cup, even ASEAN is not giving the ASEAN Cup, right? So that's the thing. So therefore, for me, if it happens again, whenever it happens again, FIFA will invite us because um, FIFA has a problem with not a problem. FIFA is needs China and India as markets. Right? Sir, our taxpayer money is used for all these stupid tournament. I want the money to use for grassroots. So nice. Tell the government that. Right? There's a lot of money that the government uses for this XYZ, which could be used for sports or education, what they want. No? How many percent of work is done for sports passport? Shubham, I can't tell you how much of percentage of work. There's people are working on it. It's taking time. It was supposed to take time, and let's see what steps. And let's see what happens. Brazil game won't fail from a crowd perspective. I just hope AFF managed to back some sponsors. We saw how Messi visit generate revenue from entities who don't put money in Indian football. Uchud, and that is what I expect to happen. Right, that is going to happen, and therefore the AFF will generate money for itself. Every time a large sporting event happens in Kolkata, I get nervous. Something bad always happens. Who says that? I don't know why would you get nervous about big sporting events happening in Kolkata? The Messi thing happened. What else? What else has failed in Kolkata in the past? Right? And I myself have done big matches in Kolkata. Right? Oliver Kahn's last match against for Bayern Munich against Mohun Bagan in 2008. Right? 125,000 people in there. I was there when the Indian Super League started. Right? I will just to tease a little bit tomorrow. I'm putting out an interview with Viren De Silva, former CEO of the Kerala Blasters in season one of the ISL. He's written a book on that, right? Very nice conversation amongst us, where Viren actually talks about a lot of things that happened in season one with him, to him. So therefore, Kolkata has had great football games, right? Even the Messi game was not a problem. ISL was not a problem. So therefore, I don't know what the problem is supposed to be. It's not that we Indians don't follow football. If the national team starts winning, the team might get sponsors. Orithro, the women's team has been very, very successful. Forget women's team. The women's national teams have been successful. How many sponsors have come forward? Right? This logic of, oh, they'll be successful and people will come. Nothing has happened. Women's football last year was the most successful that Indian women's football has ever been. Sorry, what I'm saying last year. This earlier, the first half of this year, with three teams playing in the AFC competition for the first time ever. Has anyone come forward? You know, we need to convert those European club fans to start watching Indian League. Only then viewership will increase. No one will watch in the name of nationalism. Utsa, forget the nationalism part and forget the European club fans. European club fans, maybe you might be able to convert the one another. I think the casual football fan who's not that big of a football fan, get those people. That is more important to me. Brother, listen, I want everyone to boycott this game and then let's see what AFF fails to generate any kind of money. What will be the condition of AFF accounting books? So, you know, anyone, and I've said this in the past, calling for boycotts, and I'm shocked that Baichung Bhutia, as a former Indian football captain, has actually called for a boycott. Boycott never is an answer, be it for club, be it for country. Anyone calling for a boycott is against football. And if you are going to turn up or not, if others are going to turn up or not, what Uchut said very, very right. And again, I think Uchut is a little older than you, and their experience and knowledge and understanding speaks from him. This match will work, right? If you like it, if I like it, we like it or not, it will work. It is bound to work, right? Because it's Brazil. It's not about Indian football. If you think that this game is about India and Indian football, then we are getting it totally wrong. Totally wrong. This is about the Seleção. It is not about the Blue Tigers. It's about the Seleção. And the Seleção will get the sponsorship in, not the Blue Tigers. The Blue Tigers could be a beneficiary, right? Has Satyavik joined the camp? How's his performance? Show him. He's been in the camp. Again, none of the matches have been shown, so I don't know how good he's been. I watched several matches of the 2017 Under 17 FIFA World Cup at Kolkata. Yuva did a super job with info upgrade. I had also visited the VIP area and conference rooms few months before the event. It was really good. Ochut, if you see that the quarterfinal, semi-final, and final of the tournament, Brazil, Germany, Spain, Brazil, England, Spain, all of them were sellout. Under 17 World Cup, 67,000 people each for these three matches in Kolkata. Where do you have it? So the Messi thing has surely damaged the reputation of Kolkata. But what you guys or what India hasn't gotten, the behavior of people around Messi and the other places was as bad. But you will not talk about it, right? That what Miss Fadnavis did, what the guy, what Jay Shah did with him, what Mr. Bajaj did with him in Delhi and all that stuff. And Hyderabad, the chief minister wants to play football and can't even play. That was the most embarrassing, actually. The Kolkata thing was that shit happens somewhere or there. That rubbish happens. But so therefore, get it right. Kolkata has been is one of the biggest sporting venues in India. Yes, there have been problems here and there, surely. But normally Kolkata is a very good host. Maybe we maybe win Challenge League, maybe it will give a boost we all need. I don't know if yeah. So I don't know where you're getting that Challenge League win vibe. I'm waiting for Kunya in India. Let's see Shubham who turns up. I'm kind of confused. Hypothetically, if like AFF wants to do another MRA or run a closed league, have to ask for approval from the Supreme Court first. That is a confusion, RS, which is in the AFF new constitution. Theoretically, for me, the AFF could change its own constitution, which the current AFF doesn't want to do. So let's see. Will this Brazil game become a great learning experience for our players and coaches? Yasu, I don't know if it's going to be a learning process. For our coaches, for example, Khalid Jamil plays in a certain way. Yeah. Um, right. So Khalid Jamil will not change his style suddenly playing against Brazil. Um, I think for the players who play that day, it will be one of the greatest experiences of their football career. Right? Are they going to? You cannot learn much from a one-off game, right? It's just to experience the vibe which is created. But yeah, but for them, whoever it is, to play Brazil, to be on the field against the Seleção is great. The Under 17 World Cup created a hype that a friend of mine who doesn't watch much of Indian football flew to Delhi for the India versus USA match, including sponsoring a friend's expenses. Yeah, Ochut, it was brilliant. India did an exceptional job. That's why FIFA said, you know what? The women's Under 17 World Cup also comes to India. So I think you guys don't know that these things have been seen very, very positively. So you're sure by that Brazil versus India, those certain names will be fit. Sure, the one or the other might not be fit. But if Brazil doesn't turn up with any of the players that are of importance, they know also they have to market their product. Brazil is at the moment on a massive downturn, right? Nobody in not nobody, large parts of the world doesn't care about the Seleção anymore. For them, this is um, it's a big thing. So they will come with certain names. That the one other player might be injured. Listen, if Real Madrid say Vinicius is injured, Carlo Ancelotti will speak to Florentino Perez and say, you know what, I might need him. How many Minerva players are called up for U15 World Cup? Shubham, I have no clue. Leandro Paredes suspended for 10 games, $90,000 fine for national team for post FIFA World Cup final. Molina, Almeida, and Gavi all are suspended charges. Heavy fine. Yeah. Damon, when I first saw the press release earlier today coming in from FIFA, I was positively surprised. And it was a first thought, you know. So therefore, for me, it's um, as sad as it is, and therefore for me, you know, um, for once at least, if these these fines stand and they don't half it or reduce it, then it would make sense. So therefore, yeah. So therefore, um, let's wait and see what happens. I have vague memory of England winning the U17 World Cup. Was little to remember, but hope something even better next match. Yeah, blue. It was again. I was lucky. I saw India play one of the matches in Delhi, and then at later stages of the tournament, I was staying with my aunt and uncle in Kolkata and Salt Lake. So the Salt Lake Stadium was walking for me. I think I felt I was the only one wearing a Germany jersey for the Germany Brazil game. And again, as is usual, Germany got dropped, right? There was a clear cut foul before the Brazilians scored an equalizer. I remember I had a conversation with Christian Wick afterwards, the German national team coach. I had met him also at the draw a few months earlier. And the final was exceptional, right? Spain leading and then England turning things around. Wow, boom. So, what's the level of our top foreign players, for example, Cummings and Ajay, at the League One or Championship level? Championship level, no chance. Rather League One, maybe even League Two. East Bengal has developed their women's team that are doing quite well in Malaysia, whereas Mohun Bagan has no women's team. Yeah, Hitesh. Yeah, but again, Mohun Bagan clearly no focus on youth, on grassroots, or on women's. And East Bengal developed it because Anthony Andrews shifted with, with knowledge and understanding from Gokul and Kerala to them. The 4-1 East Bengal win reminded me of East Bengal winning 6-2 against Al Zafra, Iraq, with that late Carlton Chapman scoring hat trick. Sorry, with the late Carlton Chapman scoring hat trick. I still remember his picture on the first page of the next day ABP newspaper. Yeah, there's in a different kind, different era, but yeah. Said today Nituda declared Imam will continue as principal sponsor of a club. If they took decision a bit earlier, maybe they continue with last season core foreigners. I don't think so, Rick. I think with Imami just being principal sponsors, I think they will put in less money that they put in last season, and East Bengal would not have been able to continue with the sort of core of the foreigners that they had last season. That would be my logic. I would say in Ranchi, the football culture is huge, and here people are so passionate about football at every age. That's great to hear, Shubham. Again, I will be honest, I wouldn't have been aware of that much. Let's see. I think they attended the game because they get to see a national level tournament after a very long time. That's also true, right? So therefore, that is also something which I realized, right? When you have these matches, tournaments, one-offs, people turn up, and then if you then bring league teams in, you know, and does it work? It not always, right? So therefore, these are all sometimes questions. Exactly. So I also think FIFA want 1+1 billion people country in their one tournament, so they invited India China. Exactly, Auric. That's the thing. So therefore, they will invite us again. They know that they want us again. And therefore, all these people saying, "Oh, our relationship with FIFA." Do we have a relationship with FIFA? I would say, but anyway, that's a different comment. There was a see set to have new ownership just matter of days. Sure, let's wait and see where it ends. And many schools in Ranchi took their players to the game so that they could learn something. Their player is not a top tier of college football, but a football from which they could learn something. That's good. True, brilliant. Exactly, sir. AFF should be more serious about IWL. Indian women team is really very, really good. Every age group team also they should give first priority to IWL after ISL. Yeah, but Auric, who's sponsoring it? If you see that Capri Sports came in and said, "Listen, I want to market the product," and what did they offer them? 3 crores, right? Um, Yeah. What are you going to do with that? So the problem of women's football in India is funding. India last year qualified for this year's AFC Women's Asian Cup, Women's Under 20 Asian Cup, Women's Under 17 Asian Cup. Not a single corporate came forward, right? Why we didn't let Argentina come to them? They said they lacked funds. I don't know if Argentina thought of coming to us in 2022. I don't remember that. Yeah. I wish some old Indian players said Tata goodbye after Brazil match farewell. Because people like you who say that don't really understand where we stand. Where are the young players to step up? I've been very clear. You know, and they're not there. If you think the next generation is better, which has been sold to you by a lot of these people who think they understand football, sorry, they don't. I say that with someone with a little bit of experience being around, having been around Indian, closer to Indian national team than anybody else in this whole world in the last 2.5 decades. Your young players need to step up to be able to play for the Indian national team. Will the FF bring in overseas Indian players for the matches? No, Hitesh. How can they? There's no sports passport. How can they bring in? So that India is for third friendly? No. They may let them. They've got one. India's got one friendly. Let's see what happens to the rest. So hypothetically, if AFF earns 100, 200 net revenue, do you think the AFF match will regularly host more friendlies with top teams? And where are they earning 100, 200 net revenue? Where is this coming from? From you? You know, you know, where are your numbers coming from, guys? Some of you. Someone FIFA said in 2017 is hosting a World Cup final. Also, Brazil coach said that after sevens felt like playing home match in Brazil. FIFA's ticketing system crashed for that match. Yeah, the Salt Lake Stadium or the Vivekananda Yuva Bharati Kirangon, as it's called in full, or I actually call it YBK. It's easier to say because the VYBK, I don't know, for me becomes a little of a tongue twister. Um, and yeah, the capable of hosting a World Cup final was not said by someone from FIFA, but it was said by Gianni Infantino. I remember Gianni Infantino saying it in front of Mamata Banerjee, so and other Praful Patel and others. So yeah, make it as a regular source of revenue every year. Utsav, who knows? Let this game go through, right? That's the first thing. Let us hear afterwards what are the numbers, yeah, or if there are numbers going to be released or not. Um, and and then we see what if and again there is so much to do afterwards to realize. I don't know. Please convert some cricket stadiums to football. Narendra, no one will do that. They're building cricket stadiums left, right, and center. Right? Inter Kashi wanted in Benares a stadium. Right? Didn't Adityan Yogi Adityanath say X number of football stadiums will be built in UP? Nothing has happened. Right? So therefore, listen. None of the cricket stadiums are going to be turned into football. Justice for Mumbai Football Stadium. It's not a football stadium, football ground, Narendra. How anyone can boycott national team game against the five-time World Cup winner and Indian football fans fear less than world football fans. Boycott will not work anyway, especially when the venue Kolkata. Or the venue is not your problem. Anywhere in India, you would play Brazil with an Indian team, and the Indian football fan says, "I'm boycotting." Nobody cares because then you'll have a full stadium of Brazil fans or Indian football fans who normally wouldn't go, but then they will go. Listen, this match will be priced in a way that it is going to be you know, the higher society of India will go to football matches who normally don't go football matches. This is, yeah, let's say to some extent, maybe IPL crowd. So, reality. Another, do you think Sunil will force out of retirement for one game against Brazil? It could hype India fans as well for one last dance. Do you think he should? Anupam, I said this a few weeks ago that if you play Brazil, why don't get Sunil back and make it his testimonial like I did for Baichung in 2012 by making it the Bayern versus India Baichung's testimonial. You know, you know, and you know, so therefore, you know, so therefore for me, I would make this Sunil's farewell game. That would give it another level of hype. 100%. We won Delhi Football Hockey Cup Tournament Premier League with your kind enough support as chief guest. Narendra, I'm not that important to be a chief guest. I think the FIFA verdict for the Argent players in FA is good. Somewhere you must put your foot down for the good of the game. Yeah, and Uchit, it shows what I've always say is forget the politics that happens at FIFA, the operative level of FIFA. Um, those guys are good, right? As you see, so therefore there are a lot of good people in FIFA, and I think this was needed also because the rest of the world wanted to see this. Argentina will not like it. They will crib. They will this. They will do that. But the football world wanted this. Yes, they did convert MFA Stadium into four stands, so it's not impossible. Maybe install retractable dual pitch. It's not happening. So interview happened for ISL CEO post. Supposedly, Auric, something has happened because some again, I know certain people, some foreign uh, applicants were asking about those things. I had also applied. No one has been informed. Supposedly, seven people have been interviewed, from what I've been told. So let's wait and see. We want to see our Indian football team playing international matches on a stadium. Okay. Any football fans, we support them on the football governors. Okay. Recently, women get no practice games for the AFC U71 score. Part of the problem. These don't get any investors, or there could be a Mame sponsor. And seems it's a massive budget cut. Listen, if someone was your investor with deep pockets and you say, okay, you are now my sponsor for figure X, I'm not investing as much, so that's the thing. Hey, Rushabh, you want a young Indian football team to play friendly international match in Pacific Cup where senior players should take return? No, Narendra. Again, no. It's a good way to start of hit watch answers. Okay. No. It's an obsolete concept. Try chaos and that's okay. I just don't care about Info CST. How stupid can people be? This is pinnacle of Russia. Are there any sensible people in this exco who will fight for next elections? Rushabh, again, um, that is the part of the problem, right? For me, um, it's a huge challenge to think of where we stand uh, at the moment, and to me, the big question, uh, yeah, there are some good people, you know, So let's wait and see, right? Even Delhi football fans get okay. So you're saying keep this old same guys until the next World Cup nation cycle. If you don't give young guys a chance to, then they will never will. I also know that you hate Sunil Bhatt. So Bhatt and Paramveer. So you don't know me. You think maybe you know me, and if you think Suhail Bhatt is ready to play again, a guy who's incapable of playing actually in the Kolkata Football League, you want him to play the Indian national team, right? So that's your logic. Have you seen Paramveer train live once in your life? Play live, not on television, live. I'm saying it out of conviction. The national team is not a trial and error testing ground. You know. So how much has Suhail Bhatt played last season ISL? 0 seconds, not even minutes, 0 seconds, right? So you guys go on with those players. Oh, this guy should play, that guy should play, this guy is this good, that guy is that good. No, I don't hate them. I just don't rate them that they're international level. And if you are not understanding this, forget you. Those of all of you who don't want to understand this, that you have to have a certain level to be playing Indian national team. Then anybody could walk in, right? And I myself have said, I thought Ayush Chetri, given chances by Manolo, was a good idea. He wasn't ready, right? I saw McCarthan in London. He is not ready for that level. And those are amongst the best. So if you don't understand, oh, you know what, I should give chance. No, listen, they're not even good enough at under 23 level and you think they're ready for the national team? Brilliant. Intelligent. Lovely. Lovely. Shwam, it's useless. Then there's no point of these discussions with you guys. Can you guess ticket price of Brazil game? Arik, I don't know. I would think maybe starting price 2.5. Again, was it 2,500 to 25,000, maybe 30,000, 50,000. I don't even know at what is the end range of it, right? Ashish rightly replied to you a month or two ago. If you never put those players in crucial matches, then they can never upgrade themselves. I'm not saying don't keep Rahul or Sandesh, but keep them on bench if the matches are not that crucial. See, and so this shows me, with all due respect I have for Ashish, does great work, but in this matter he has no clue. Why? Because if you've ever worked in around, in especially the Indian national team, today you talk about A and you think you understand that this guy should be in the national team, right? Because we talk about consistency. Next year he's Hawa. How many players have we had that like that? I said in the last few days, no, Isak Ralte would have been a player who should have been playing for the national team. Right? I thought. Even I thought, right? 6 months later, 1 year later, where is Isak Ralte? Your problem is consistency. Our players peak too late. Rahul Beke became a proper national team player post age of 30. Nikhil Prabhu needed to be 26, 25, 26 to get into the national team. So your under 23s doesn't work. So even Ashish, with all due respect, it is rubbish. Watch live training. Again, in London, the hour before the game, right? To watch them, to see them, some of the players warm up, right? I don't know who was it, where I spoke a while back about Edmund, right? And then I think Moinox said that he watched him live a few weeks ago in the Duran Cup. He said, Dada, I agree with you. Listen, this is match knowledge. We've had coaches in Manolo and in Khalid now who are club coaches and who've not understood till now, right? That club and country is not the same thing. And I go back to something that Bob Houghton always used to say. You need to know who can play national team football. Someone might be the best player in your league, but he might not be the best player for the national team. And there was one player that Bob rarely to never called up, just for that simple reason. And he was proven right. So therefore, I'm talking out of knowledge. I'm not saying this from hearsay. A lot of people say hearsay without knowing the things. As I always say, if I don't know something, I'll say I don't know. Right? I bought 3 tickets each for 5 games, including a final, gave to friends and family for free, including a former CFL player coach. I was offered a VIP ticket of the final, which I politely declined. Ochut, again, people like us are different. If they put 5K price times saying a passage that's 30 crore alone, then sponsorship revenue, broadcasting, meet, greet, VIP, don't you think all this will make at least 100 crores? Utsav, you are making a general calculation. Let them, again, what's the cost of the whole thing? Right? Let's see. Legend weekend in your tennis, my friend saying let's see. Messi came in 25. I have money for all these gimmicky tournaments, but I don't have money to sack the manager and bring new one. No, you're going to say that these styles of game don't have anything to do with improving. What is gimmicky tournament? Show them. Again, where are you going with your arguments? None of it makes sense what you're saying. Right? You think, again, please, anyone, you might know or think you know. But, guys, no, you don't. Right? If they don't have the money to sack the manager, they don't have the money to sack the manager, and they don't have the money to get in a replacement. That's the reality of the AFF. Now you will tell me, no, this is different. That is different. Oh, nice. Negi is Delulu when it comes to U23s. If you watch entire match against Brunei, where they were supposed to score 10, 15 goals, were exposed, but he won't talk about it out of bias. Rushabh, thank you for you saying it and not me having to say it. The legion of people who've been promoting the under 23s and people have been telling stuff about under 17s, guys, we have a youth team problem. And I've also said one thing. Ashish said, I think last week he said something. No? I don't know, someone of you guys raised it in it. No? When I spoke about the mentality part, Ashish agreed to it. Yeah. And he said, you know what? Dada is right on it. So I know a few things. I am not talking out of hot air. Most people who sit and do content speak out of hot air without knowing the things. Right? I'm talking out of knowledge. Yeah. So that is the problem. That is the problem. If you don't know, please, ideally, winner of U23 was senior team uniform should play for. This is another idea. What is it? What is wrong with you guys? And the good terms with AFF and imagine they should definitely shortlist you for interview at least. Utsav, it's not about AFF. It's the ISL clubs who are deciding on this. And supposedly I'm not part of the list. So that's for them. It's a loss. Listen, it's a loss for the Indian Super League if they don't think Arunava Chaudhuri is someone that could help the league. They need someone like me. They won't take me. It is not my issue. Listen, I'm happy with my life. It's your problem. You guys have gotten the league to where it is. Take it further down. Also, Rishabh, where were Mohammed and Supergiant players? No, sir, but my friend no Abhishek Tikcham, many others. Surely they would have made difference with the amount of chances we missed, especially by Srikutan. See, and that is where you get it wrong. Yeah, he's become enough for to say to give chances. No, Narendra, I am not a selector. Bro, you watch those games, we were scared. Even if it counters against Brunei, the borderline says all few players don't make difference. Rushabh, the problem is that these players are not ready for higher level football, you know, right? When it comes to as simple as body language. And that's the point. The body language and mentality. They lack that, you know. So that's the reality. I want Common to win today's match. Good luck. Super fun. Okay. Teams giving chance to all the drivers in the man, what happened to Amarjit Singh Kiam? He played in the national team and did pretty well as a 20 or now he's 25 and hasn't come back to national team. Yasu fizzled out. Like a lot of those under 17 World Cup players. Even Khalid didn't start Sanan, his own player, and we're hyping these guys. Just see what he was doing when he came on as a sub against Zimbabwe. He's not good enough for that level. For example, Vikram Pratap might not be the technically best player we have. But if you see that Vikram was physically fighting those Zimbabwean players, the mentality was there. Sanan was scared in one or the other occasion to go into those duels. Clearly visible. But hey, you would say technically good or he did a step over here or there. No, if you are unable to physically play at that level, it's not going to happen. And that's a reality. What are you watching national team? And then if next gen are not that good enough, what's the point in watching? Stop covering in football then because anyways you won't even qualify as a captain. Show him you've not understood that you don't support a national team because they're going to be successful. You support a national team because it's your bloody national team. See, and you know. So for me, if you as an Indian football fan don't understand that, and I know a lot of Indian football fans don't, that is part of the problem of our culture, of lack of culture of Indian football fans, right? You just proved it again. You don't understand what it means to be an Indian football fan, in my opinion. To my high standards, again, very few reach that anyway, but that's a different conversation. Why, if that is your logic, right? Why would I then make an effort to travel to London and watch them? Well, why did I travel in 2001 to travel to Bangalore to watch them play in the World Cup qualifier? Why did I travel to Kolkata? Why did I travel there to support them? Right? It doesn't work. Indian senior name don't play enough matches where you can test new players unless they're exceptional. Senior national team need finished products. Exactly. And in an Indian context, if I'm saying I'm building again, a coach who tells you I am building a team for the future, that coach is already disqualified for me because I need to live in the here and now. Someone who's a talent today and who's performing well might be totally out of the scene in the next 12 to 18 months. A reality of Indian football, you know, you know. So this is the thing, right? To me, if you want to understand that the national team is not a trial and error ground. And the trial and error ground to me, that you would do, listen, if they then start losing 5, 7, 10 nil, then you will say, oh, why are they playing them? Right? Be funny if all those Neymar fans buy those huge tickets and ends up getting injured. Neymar is retired. Rishabh, I think Neymar is not, if I'm not wrong, Neymar is not coming. Ah, it's not funny. In your perception, was FIFA changed after the current World Cup? No. Morally. I know them, I've worked for them, no. So Ryan Williams only played one full game for Nia. What's your thought on him? I mean, I think he's better than Ryan Williams is way better than anyone we have. But yeah, sadly, in and around India matches, Ryan has picked up a few injuries. This is not really represented us that much. But I hope that Ryan does represent us, that Ryan plays for another 2, 3 years, that he does play the next cycle going towards the FIFA World Cup and Asian Cup. And we need more Ryan Williams. I think that's very, very important. Um, so therefore, for me, that needs to be put in place. But I think Sanan would add value to Mumbai City FC. Yeah, For ISL standards, yes. And maybe, as we've seen with a number of wingers at Mumbai City over the years, a Chante has developed, a Bipin has developed, a Vikram has developed. Maybe for Mohammad Sanan, he needs that next step. So I think rather than going to an East Bengal, which is also being discussed, I think mm, so the thing is, yeah, I think for Mumbai City would be a good signing to have someone like him come in. That after a while, your internet connection has been better without lag. Shwam, I don't know. Again, the question is it my internet? Is it StreamYard? Is it, I don't know. So good to hear that it's working today. So by mentality, you mean hunger, aggression was work rate to run and win duels? Yes, right. That's if I um you know to me that is very very important. You need to play national team. You know, again, generations change. If you would have seen the generation of a Baichung Bhutia, a Renedy, and all these guys, even a generation of the Mangis, Ishfaq Ahmeds, um, it's always um, you know. So therefore, to me, that's very important. Sometimes I feel today some players just turn up, right, and they don't have the right attitude towards the national team, right. That is something where you need the right coach. I know a lot of players say, they didn't like the times under because Stephen Constantine is a disciplinarian, right? Um, so therefore, for me, that's one. And Bob Houghton was a totally different character, but those two coaches, especially that generation, helped them a lot. We need someone like that to come in and who understands international football and can work on those. The way Blood Boys were so such good things the way I did. Sure, yeah. Be happy that I didn't say, you know what, enough is enough, and I block you. Right? Maybe that's the next step that I'm going to do with people who say stupid things on this channel. I was watching ASEAN Cup. Vietnam has improved a lot. Okay. I think it's most likely that he joins Mumbai. Let's see the waves. I don't know whether my assumption is right or wrong. The country which is the top 10 in Olympics, they have some good socioeconomic status compared to India. They have good development processes. Don't think so. Where is the socioeconomic thing in Kenya? Like the long distance runners, right? They have to run on top over mountains barefoot and all that stuff. Mumbai City can pick young football players wearing their Predator shoes from Billabong High School, Goregaon, and still win ISL. It's that simple. I don't know what you're smoking, honestly. Another, what would it mean to you if we see a success of our 15 World Cup festival? Should we take the results seriously or see it just as a development game? Do we have good scouting process now? We're not going to win uh, um, the tournament because it's not uh, you know and so therefore the under 15 thing is being hyped up too much. It's a nice exposure. It's good for those boys. But I would love to, yeah, let's note down the names of those boys at under 15 and see how many of them play for India 10 years later at senior level. So therefore for me, um, yeah. And do we have a good scouting process? No, I wouldn't say that. But again, that's a different thing. Right? But again, it is FIFA, in my opinion, as I've said now multiple times, to call it a FIFA Under 15 World Cup and festival makes a problem, you know? And yeah, we need to build on that. And that's going to be the challenge that FIFA should have called it, I don't know, the Under 15 Festival World Cup or something to understand that it's a festival rather than, you know, than what we see it as to be, right? So will SAF become FIFA SAF Cup? Uh, some people have said it. Let's wait and see. Ranjit has praised Egos too much and said Ego is the best Indian coach. He's one who won multiple tours and will also be Bachelor for Pazil. Aman, that says it all. Egos too much has been a disaster for India in the long run. But again, who's going to call it out? The best coaches in the last 25 years, Sukhvinder Singh, Stephen Constantine, Bob Houghton, period. Who is the best amongst those three can be discussed. But Igor Stimac certainly doesn't come in the top three. The 2023 things have been so overhyped. Um, who did we play? How did we win? Where did we win? How did we play? Right. So that's the reality. Now I wanted to have you as a guest on my channel for a short term. I've DM'd you regarding the same too. Would be very happy if you could join in. The waves will check on my DMs and surely will make time for that. 2011 versus current, what is the main difference? Notice is a technical fighting attitude, both. I think that 2011 the team was technically better. Maybe physically the team today would be better, stronger because football has changed. That's the reality. But the attitude is never die. And again, especially if you look at the Asian Cup in 2011, that Bahrain game, we're 0-1 down early on. We equalize. India suddenly goes all out, right? We play, we try. And I remember Horton after the 1-1 said, guys, defense, defense, defense. And we boom, 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 3 goals, 4-1. We scored a second, they scored a fifth, and it was over. But again, we showed attitude. And that I see a lack of that, right? But sir, our players don't have stamina to play 90 minutes. Who can press? As kid nowadays say, "Ghee khatam ho jata hai." Also, why do we have to press for 90 minutes? Again, that's the point. We have to play according to our strengths. Why do you want to press for 90 minutes? Play what you can, right? It's like when people, oh, you know what, we need to play tiki taka, we need possession football. How many teams play? Uh, you know, uh, so that's the thing. To discuss few of the topics which have been going on right now, like the roadmap, I League, ISL, and a little bit about Mumbai. Sure, sure. Maybe Jamil need to talk to fitness coach of ISL clubs to have more drills to increase stamina. I don't think so. It's not the thing. And what's up? Khalid Jamil going to the ISL clubs, hey, listen, increase the stamina by doing this and that. Who is he to talk to the fitness coaches of ISL teams? He can talk to the coaches of the ISL clubs and give me inputs on this and that. I'm talking about Merely Tally top finishers. Murali, it's top contenders or not, right? Sunil did the best thing by going abroad to 2026. He struggled a lot, but became a better player. Players like Amarjit and Sangchini do that when they are 24, 25, older here. And Yasu, Changte got the opportunity. We got him that in 2019 with the trial at Viking Stavanger. So to me, that was a massive opportunity lost. He went to Chennai FC, and I thought in 2019, if I looked at the talent that the boy had, I felt okay, he stagnated to a certain extent in Chennai. Did get better, of course, in the end, but and then of course made the jump when he came to Mumbai City. But I think for him it would have been. I think Changte had a career in Europe potentially, and not in the top 5 leagues or something. But is that an answer confirmed to play ISL or will it reduce further? Blue at the moment it looks like confirmed. Um, But again, Interkashi, the deal is not done. Kerala Blasters, the deal is not done. East Bengal don't have an investor, right? At least Imami in a sponsor, that's already a first step. But so there are still 2, 3 entities where we need to have a conversation. Surya Gurpreet are the only 2 players who went abroad, and both of them are different level compared to the rest of the players. Yazu, you're forgetting a third one, and that is a certain Baichung Bhutia. Baichung Bhutia, I don't know if he said it publicly, but I know privately he said it. I went as a boy and came back as a man. 3 years in Bury in England, and Baichung learned a lot, right? And this human development factor, forcing you to go abroad, take care of yourself. You have to cook, you have to drive, you have to do this, you have to do that, which you wouldn't do in India, right? Everything is taken care for you. That makes you grow as a human being. And think about Sunil is a different case. Sunil in 2010, went to America, didn't work out. Sporting Lisbon was brutal. Sporting Lisbon was brutal, where he had to realize, I'm a captain of the Indian team. I'm the best Indian player. But again, hey, in the Sporting B, you know what? They're all better than me, right? That's brutal. And Gurpreet, left India in 2014 because he twice threw away the the I League title for East Bengal under Trevor Morgan. Especially, I remember that game in Kalyani where he allowed a goal ball to roll under him and that went in. And um, but those 3 years in Norway at Stabæk, Gurpreet was a different man. And that to me is always the lovely thing with someone, that from a human element, what you can learn. And Gurpreet in 2017 was a different player than he was when he 2014 when he left. And that is why over the last decade he's been a much better player. Right, 1 hour 31 and a half minutes. Quick reminder, if you haven't, please do like. Still 18 if you're watching, 22 likes. Thank you very much. Share with others. And if you haven't, please do subscribe to Arun Foot here on YouTube. And 4,757 is the current number. So 443 to get to the 5,000 mark. As I said earlier today, seems to be an up and down thingy with the number of subscribers. Seems to be stuck in a range of 4,759 and 754. So do help me to reach the higher levels. And thank you as always for your support. Sir, that India has ever appointed foreign technical director? Yeah, they met multiple times. We had Robban. Uh, um, what was the Romanian guy's name? And um, earlier as well. So we've had a few of them over the years. Yes. Thank you so much, Dada. Take care of your health. Don't get rage bait about a couple losers. I'm fine, but again, I sometimes it's better to vent it out, right, and to tell people. And again, I sometimes feel also when I explain things very nicely, people take it for granted. So yeah, your views regarding the youngsters absolutely correct, and you can't change the opinion of everyone, no matter what. The waves. My problem is with that, right? A lot of people, as I say, have opinions without knowing things, right? So that's the problem. Sir, but if we sit back and defend, isn't it counter to if we play with aggression, they can get yellow cards or sent off. What's up? What you wanna? We don't have the players to press. You want to play a certain way, which we can't play, right? Yellow cards will pick up here or there anyway, right? So I don't know. So what's your thoughts on OCI? I mean, 4 or 5 player quota system or full national team with OCI player? Because it depends on the quality. Let the players, once the sports passport becomes the reality, let the OCIs come in and let's see who's better in which position and then let them play. If 4 OCIs play, the 5 OCIs are better, let 5 OCI plays. If 11 OCIs are better than the whole Indian national team, you know, um, it 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 works, right? So therefore, we have to see what the reality is, because also the one or the other OCI will most probably struggle. I've seen some videos of some of the Bangladesh under 20s who are struggling in Dhaka during the monsoons at the moment in the preparations because they're not used to this weather. So that's the reality. Herrera, Higuita and Esco governors only 8 pieces. They're not to be excellent football players. No cooking, please. Okay. Seems to be a funny day, huh? I remember Sunil struggled in Kansas. MSF felt so down when I saw he couldn't handle the physicality of the American soccer, but then he came back to India and just became a better player. Yeah. So that's the reality of how good or how bad you are, and Sunil had to learn it the hard way. But again, it made him a better player and much better human being to me, and that is the end result of why he's been humble, works very hard. Again, these foreign experiences for our players over the years have always been good, in my opinion. Right? Be it Bhutia, be it Sunil, be it Gurpreet, even short stints for Mangi and Shubroto, it has helped them, right? And even when I, with friends at the end of his career in March 2015, did it for Renedy, that he was able to train a few weeks in Bulgaria with CSK Sofia, again top team in that league. And the CSK Sofia guy said, "Hey, this guy's technically really good. If he was a few years younger, we might have looked at him, right?" So I would not have that conversation. If I send an Indian player today to CSK Sofia, they will say, "Thank you very much, just send him home." You know, you should try vertical YouTube live. It'll give big boost and push content to wider audiences. What's up? This is the way I do it. I know a lot of people say do this, do that, whatever. Yeah, you know. So that's the thing. Sir, you should share video of Colombo football. Very nice. Mindset Mastery, I've done that. Look it in my what's it called? In my posts here. I've posted it on Twitter, on Facebook, on threads. So yeah. Now can you describe how was the Vivekananda Yovati Kiranga pitch before 2017? Help us official. Unhappy with the pitch for the friendly. I wonder how we played on the artificial turf for so many years. The Vapes, it came in 2009. Argentina actually played Venezuela on the artificial turf in 2011. It was also there in 2014 when the ISL started. In the opener, Nabi got injured, right? Syed Ravi Nabi, who was the captain of Mumbai City FC in the first ISL, Nabi got injured. If I'm not wrong, I think Michael Chopra got injured for the Blasters in Salt Lake Stadium. And then at some stage, the artificial turf was removed. The grass was redeveloped for the under 17 World Cup. The problem has been now for the last 2 years with Reliance out of the business. Reliance has sort of access to grass curators, so they've tried to maintain a certain standard of the playing pitches, which has not been done in the ISL again because cost cutting and all that kind of stuff. You don't have money for all of those things. So therefore, the quality of the grounds has gone down. So to me, that's been a problem, and yeah, but for the Brazilians, I understand because the grass needs to be denser so that you don't fall into those. I wouldn't say holes, but again, there's could be sort of unnatural. It's not a carpet. Like and that was a problem at the World Cup as well, right? They said, for example, New York was very, very, very bad, right? Because they put a grass surface and an artificial turf pitch. Then what do you mean by attitude problem exactly? What's of attitude? It's not an attitude problem. It's just that I feel sometimes that the desire, the will is not there to play for the national team. I'm just there because I need to be there because I need to ensure my ISL contract. Some of them are surely doing that. Maybe this is not the right attitude, but I don't care that much about national team now. I care more about domestic league and clubs, especially when you have Khalid and you're already out of ASEAN Cup. The thing is, you have to care about both, right? Now, how did Mumbai manage to host Intercontinental Cup in 2008 because they couldn't host the ACL games? I remember in 2000, and ICC 2018 was no whip stand as per guidelines of AFC. The vapes, there are different rules for different competitions, right? FIFA cleared the venue in 2018, and the rules have gotten tougher in the last few years. So therefore, it wasn't allowed. I still feel international football should return again to Mumbai. It's been 8 years now. Would get the city the much needed boost and limelight again. Things were good under Praful Patel and Kushal Das. Yeah, yeah. But the question is, I would rather again. I know I like the smallness of the Mumbai football arena, but I would most probably prefer DY Patil as an international, even though it's actually too big. Is missing ASEAN Cup the biggest blunder in Indian football history? No, Aditya. It's a blunder. It's a blunder. Yeah, we can call it that, but it's by far not the biggest blunder is 1950 not to play the FIFA World Cup. Other blunders have happened over the years. But this is it's not even a blunder. What would I say? Um, Missed opportunity, right? But I've said this today, and again, no one is talking about it. If I look at it from an AFF perspective and look at my budgets and funding and where I stand, what I want to do, what I need to do, then from an AFF perspective, it most probably makes sense to think about, hey, you know what? Um, let me play Brazil and try to raise money. Why Chante don't want to play abroad? Is he one of the best players we have right now in national team? At least tried two third divisions clubs in Eastern Europe. Who's going to take him, Utsaf? Again, your question is like, hey, Chante can try to play abroad, but who's going to take him, right? Uh, so, right. To me, there is no one who will take players like him. Why did AFF choose to play Brazil to ASEAN Cup? Bangladesh grabbed the free opportunity. Aditya, China, I said no, right? Why? For the AFF, the Brazil game is trying to make money. Very simple. Is he too old to move? No, he's not too old. Look at the money that he was at Mumbai City, how much money he's earning at um, Mohun Bagan now. That's also a factor, no? So how do you rate reliance on all over Indian sports development? Mindset mastery, they're trying to do things, not only football, but also in many, 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 many other sports. Um, yeah, I think give it another few years. I think they're going to get better results. So they're trying, right? All right. So you're saying they're not motivated enough to play national team. Yeah, most probably. Chirag Tanna, former back channel by Pune City SEO in 2008 is out of job and he would have been up to CEO of ISL silent guy. He was never with Pune City and he was with Pune FC, right? So I don't even know if Chirag has applied for the job. But what's there to care about a national team for next 1 or 2 years? We will get out of round one or two qualifiers anyway. We will not play ASEAN Cup. These friendlies are meaningless and Khalid is not going anywhere. RS, you if you don't care at this moment where the Indian national team is doing so bad, I have to question, you know, um, anyone about being, a football fan. You don't. India needs to learn, you know, um, that football is not only supporting us when your team is winning. You need to support your team more when it's losing. Unconditional support, I used to love to say 2, 3 years ago in conversations with Hiren and Akshata and Rahul. You are putting conditions. Oh, you're successful, then I will support you. I don't agree with Khalid. I don't think Khalid is the right coach, but I'll support him. You know. So reality of things. But what's the logic of spending 50 plus crores reportedly to play a dead rubber match and a good quality football? Aditya, the AFF can make money of this. The Brazil game is a chance to make money for the AFF, which they need to run for the rest of the year, right? So um, that's the conversation that we need to have. Chirag Tanan, Abhishek Yadav said, Shoham, Arunava, are you on good terms with the guys leading the club-led model? I'm sure guys at Mumbai and Punjab could back you up to get a role as CEO or COO. I'm sure they know they could do well with you. The Vapes, supposedly 7 guys have been shortlisted. I'm not on that list, so I've said to those people in person and in private um, what I think is right and wrong, and yeah. So therefore, for me, I'm not. I didn't apply for the COO job because I don't think that's where I stand in life now. That's what I want to do. Um, and CEO, yeah, I think could be, but to me, um, they don't consider. Again, they thought a few months ago that I was a candidate for league commission and other things. So take it. It's for the league to decide, right? If they take me, fine. Well, I'll try and help and do it. But if they don't, that's on them. Pune FC, thanks for the correction. I didn't know Pune City FC was a different club. I put out of Pune for many years. I've been out of Pune for many years. Pune FC was uh Pune FC was Pyramids and I League, and Pune City FC is ISL and was DFHL. So 2 different entities. Sebano has left us far behind with the latest inclusion of Adam Abbas. Rahul, yeah, catching up for us to do. So Indian government schools in Indian football are on the same condition. Again, I don't know enough about Indian government schools to know mindset mastery. So don't you think captain veteran players need to step up and show some leadership to inculcate a positive demanding attitude in dressing room? Utsav, yes, But the players need to also show that, na. So you know what? He might be bad coach, but he's so humble, introvert. It is not his fault that he has been put on this condition. Why would he even leave the national team job? That he's humble and introvert is very, very true. Yeah, the sporting culture we need supporting because we love the team, not the results. Not just in football, every sport in the country. Sujal, very well said. Big problem. You know, you know. So therefore, it's a lot of problems across left, right, and center across the board, and we need to sort those out. Otherwise, we can't grow. There is women coach who got job just because he accepted to work for 30K per month salary. So that's the problem, right? Sometimes there is not enough money in that system. Hey Roshan, I saw a post from Rajasthan Football Handle that Rajasthan Sports Council put tender for floodlight in stadium in Jaipur. If that's true, that's great. Like how players like Sedram Samadina had command in dressing room. What's up? Again, you are hearsay or you've read something or you might have watched a documentary. That's why these comparisons are always very difficult. Right? Let's see. When was the last time national coach was appointed, ticking all the boxes usually every national team looks before hiring coach for national team? I felt it was Igor too much. Stephen Constantine, 2015. There is controversy surrounding Igor's appointment, so let's not even get into that show. Now, would you think Manolo could do well at Mumbai? City honestly didn't rate him much as FC Goa coach. His India tenure was just sad for some reason. Liked him at Hyderabad though. The Vapes, well, sorry, but I've been mightily impressed by the foreign signings at the club. Um, I thought he did well in Goa, no? Let's say, especially last season with less resources. I'd say he did okay, right? I would say at least. Sorry. To me, yeah, always difficult, but I think that was okay, no? To get out of it. And India, of course, was a disaster, but that was at some stage clear to me that that would not click. And again, and Manolo being Manolo walked away. It's not about performance. It's knowing that results, coach job is safe, irrespective of results. You could lose all those games in this cycle, and Khalid will still be there. You're playing for nothing. RS, that's yeah, but still, you always have to support a national team. Also, now would love to know what you think about Santosh Kashyap. I'm glad he's finally stopped getting offers from the system. Santosh is one of those of that generation who's been around. Pacha has been too active these days. Seems like he wants that president post bad. To be honest, doesn't have high hopes from anyone now. So, Joel, didn't he say um, that he doesn't want the job? I mean, Arjun pressed him a few times. So, mm, yeah, let's see. See, what's that? May 2011. He wasn't even May 2011 at all. Under 15 World Cup is next few months. Do you have any news about the scouting of the players other countries bring since February? Are we serious or just in so-called festival or exposure? Who is preparing since February, Aditya? If a tournament is announced, create a tournament in June, how can a team be preparing in February for that? Which idiot is selling you that? You know, it's a festival. We are hyping this World Cup to a level. In Germany, I've never heard anyone speaking about the under 15 World Cup, right? We will send a team here in Germany, whatever it does, and we'll come back and life goes on. No, right? Even in other parts of the world, I've actually spoken to a few people here. So this is, don't make it bigger or smaller than what it is. It's a great bit of exposure for the boys. I said earlier today in the show, note down the names of all the 14 players in that under 15 squad. And let's then talk about it in 10 years and see how many of those 14 players have made it to the senior national team. How many, right? Right? How many of them actually playing at the top level of Indian football, whatever the league is? You know, so it is a tournament. It's not even about winning. You're not going to get, if you top your group, you're not getting into the knockouts. There's no, every team in that tournament will play the same number of matches. It's about exposure. And nobody in the world, I don't know, I speak to people around, nobody's spoken to me about it. It's, yeah, what to say. The way Manolo wants his team to play, the national team could never have played his kind of game. Yeah, Sujal, but that is one. And Manolo didn't understand that someone who plays good in the Indian system might not be good to play for India in the international level because he can't fall back on a Borja Herrera or whoever is playing for him, right? Who's played for him. Say Joachim Alexanderson is the best football coach in current AFF ecosystem. Yeah, yeah. Musaba has said good thing when Nikita invited him that every person has certain limits. Only till that he can go. We all knew what Khalid's coaching style is, and he never will change that style. Yeah, so I've been saying that for decades. Uh, Same for me, and I didn't hear anything here about U15 World Cup. Yeah, Roshan, here in Germany, nobody's spoken about it. So again, you hear a lot of things about it as well, and again, Germany will send a team. Thanks very much, and play, come back, and nothing changes. Right, the boys get a little bit of exposure. Right. U15 World Cup and Festival, 14 players and 20 officials from each country. Even this U15 World Cup Festival is gimmicky tournament, holds no value, win it or not. Shoham, the point is about exposure. And it's not only about exposure of the players, it's exposure for the coaches, for people working in youth football. So FIFA wants to utilize the tournament, of course, also for officials and that, but forget that part. But it is also for the people who are around the team to get an exposure level and learn theoretically from others in the system. So the problem is these guys are being manipulated by all these reels they get on their feed. They trust that person and spam same things on every video. Yeah? Sure, that's your problem. So we need a magic moment like cricket 2007 T20 and 2011 World Cup. If we beat high ranked teams somehow, even by fluke, everyone follows winners. Vikash, but India's won. It's not again what one fluke win. So let's say India beat Brazil, world wonder. In the Salt Lake Stadium, India beat Brazil. Do you think that on the 4th of October, India will be a different country in regard to supporting football? I don't know. I'm just asking a question, right? So those are the question. Oh, by the way, this U15 World Cup remind you of another bizarre comment that Messiah has made. He said, we will win an Olympic medal, but the condition is we should host it. Like, according to him, we can't qualify through U23 ASEAN Cup. If we get into the main tournament, we will win the thing. So what to say? Right? There's nothing to say. So that's the reality. By the way, let me tell you, it took 28 years for India in cricket for next ODI World Cup trophy after 1983. They won in 2011. Yeah, sure. Not only that, look, a lot of countries, right? Brazil has won the World Cup last time, what? 2002, right? So for them, it will be at least 28 years until 2030. So those are realities. In the beginning, everything was frustrating around him, but now it's funny because I've realized you can't change someone's mind if he has made someone a god. So that's the problem of our times, right? People believe these things. People believe things where you think, just think for 1 second, just be sensible for 1 second. But people are not willing to do that. And that's our problem that I feel that we have. And yeah, it's sad, but um, what to tell you, what to explain to you, right? To you, me, and I, what are we going to do? To me, it's very difficult to try and get into the real world and then say these are things that work or don't work. For me, that's the biggest problem. You know, mm, and if people are going to say this is not going to work, that's not going to work, yeah, it's yeah. Maybe Indian team can beat Brazil team in October if Brazil has the night before all you can eat biryani. Roshan, I think there is other things that you maybe could give the Brazilians, maybe to get a Delhi belly in Kolkata. I don't know, something I don't know, masala. What's it called? Uh, in Kolkata, what is it called? Masala water. Whatever. I'm not getting the name. So maybe then they'll get an upset stomach and then they won't play or whatever. But again, I'm saying that one game will not need change things. Problem in India is they like to do bhakti, which means putting blind faith on certain person. Yeah. Problem of our times. Yeah, but cricket is like played seriously by 8 countries, unlike football in Brazil. It's embarrassing how we don't win in cricket every year. Yes, maybe. We can beat Brazil if it rains heavily in Kolkata and on the 4th of October and the pitch is almost unplayable and we can somehow sneak a goal. Quite possible, right? So the 4th will be difficult because the match date is the 3rd. But I was saying that my thought process is that if we by chance beat Brazil on the night of the 3rd of October, does India and Indian football change on the 4th? You know, so therefore, um, so uh, you know, where are we on that, right? So for me, that's part of the problem where we stand at this moment in time, right? So it's where are the solutions to those questions, and yeah, we'll have to wait and see, right? We have to wait and see where things go. But ground conditions could be tough. Ground conditions again. I don't know if beginning of October the monsoons is through or not. They will have to do now quite a bit once the Durand Cup final is played on Sunday. They'll have to do a bit of work on the stadium and on the grass, and then we'll see. Never forget, three people going on podcasts and saying India football value is 500 crore 5 years back. You can forgive but not forget. Show him that was 3 years back. And yeah, so that's that. And again, there have been different podcasts on those things. Will you come to India for Brazil game? RS, not sure. Let's see. These guys say on podcast that FIFA doesn't have guts to ban India. FIFA banned them instantly. Everyone were after that. Shoham, again, I was the only one who warned. And this is the funny one, right? I've been warning. I don't know if people are not intelligent enough or don't see through things, or I don't know what it is. I said we're gonna get banned. I said Reliance could leave. I said don't fall for Igor's team matches, 3 tournaments win and all that stuff and all A- Asian Games fiasco waiting to happen because you guys want it so much. Yeah, sorry. Right. If you want someone who's like your godfather and explains to you what is going to happen, I told you what's going to happen in a lot of cases. Right. And to me, that's the sad part. I rather on a lot of these things would have been wrong. So let's wait and see. Gone are the days of the World Cup, Salt Lake. Yeah, Simon, I do. I love the 2011, sorry, 2017, right? Those things, you know, and right. So that's yeah, some of those realities are there. Mm. So therefore, that's the way it is. And again, if you, we like it or not, that's the way. Brazil should play with 9 players to make it fair. Yeah, Babalu's animation football doesn't work that way. Sadly, if a team is much better than the opponent, you reduce them by a certain number of players. Or Brazil plays with a seven-a-side team and we play with 11. All of that doesn't work. We'll have to play 11 against 11. And, and then again, I said for the Indian players, enjoy the occasion, try your best, and then let's see what happens. Just have one question. Who is the most intelligent person in the AF currently? Bosh, I don't know. I I don't know. Then why cricket have more followers than football in India? Because we're good in that. Just like cricket watching 1 crore views and football not even 50K. Because I think there are different reasons. I think we have gone quite deep into discussion, right? You know, um, the question for me is cricket. We're amongst the best in the world. Cricket is without India, cricket wouldn't be where it is. Let's be very, very commercially. So therefore, that's so let's wait and see. But to me, India as a crowd, right? Now forget at the top level, even domestic cricket has now much more following than football. You agree with Ashish and he's taken a Brazil game, he's opposing it. Simon, let him oppose it. But I said very clearly that I would understand it again if you look at it from an AFF perspective and trying to make money and trying to keep the system running, then it from their perspective makes sense if I like it or not. I would have liked us to have played ASEAN Cup, but to me now the AFF's biggest task is to make this match a success, to generate revenue with which it can run the season 26-27. That is, I think, what needs. And ask, you guys ask this to Ashish, is this an angle which he has thought about? I have not heard anything from him or from anybody else to actually talk. I'm the only one who seems to be talking about it. That for the AFF, from their perspective, it makes sense to push this game because yes, it is costly, but it is also a possibility to raise money that could be put back into the AFF system. I wonder how Brazilian players will feel if Indian players take the friendly too serious and start fouling too much and showing aggression. They probably will take it as charity game or something. RS, it's an international friendly. Brazil will be professional and they will want to win it. Nothing more, nothing less. 18th of October, start watering a nutmeg farm in Kerala, which means rainy season is over in India, be it Bengal, Chirapunji, Kerala, by Singapore, which is when Gandhi Jayanti is celebrated. No. Um, Chalakudi tells, October very often is the time of Durga Puja. And in Bengal, very often, and again, this is effects of global warming, I think it can go on a little longer. So I think 3rd of October should be still in the rainy period. And the thing is, even if it doesn't rain, right, it's going to be muggy, right? So the weather is not going to be nice. Yeah, that's the CEO postal vacant has become a cold case. Simon, supposedly 7 people have been shortlisted. That's what I've been told. I've not been contacted, so I'm not on the list. So okay, let's let them figure out what they're doing. India is a big market. They can't ban us. It's impossible. At the end of the day, no one cared. After ban, people still watched open football. Half of them didn't even know we were banned. Sujal, I don't think half of the people didn't know. That's not true. I think a lot of people who normally don't watch Indian football actually knew that we got banned. So that point I can't agree with you. I think a lot more people knew that we were banned. And did it change things at the end? No, because the Indian government and whatever happened with the under 17 Women's World Cup, okay, is fine. But again, um, you know, and so therefore, yeah. So therefore, that's the point of where we stand at this moment in time, and it's a challenge. It was a challenge. It is a challenge, and we need to see where we go, right? Um, But again, if people tell you, no, 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 we're not going to get banned, it's too important. Yeah. So let's see. So India's not good in cricket as well. They took years to win T20 World Cup as well. Show 'em you don't have to be good to by winning World Cups, you know? So you could be good without winning titles. Watch us get banned after December only. Why should we get banned? What's the reason? Yeah. So that's the thing. Who's title partner of ISL? Show 'em there is no, is there even one sponsor in the ISL at the moment? Right? What we know, what they sold the data rights to Sportradar. EA Sports has bought the rights to the clubs and to the players, and Nivea is going to continue as the ball sponsors, right? So look, cricket content creator and football content creator. If we really love football, then this informative live we easily have 1,000 people, not 21. Vikash, would people be interested who are interested in cricket to discuss football with us? And I don't know cricket at all at the moment, to be honest. I would have, if you asked me questions about 15, 20 years ago, most of I would know a little bit about cricket, uh, you know, and yeah. So I don't know. And no, Cartman, no news on the sports passport. Again, if there is, uh, you know, so therefore, let's wait and see. When should league committee stand and start operating? And the league starts in October. Earlier this year, should have been. When I come to Mumbai, we'll eat Puran Poli together. Thanks, Sean. Morgan Rogers got 170 million. Where does Chelsea get its deep pockets from? Its owners. Anything coming up on overseas players? Deep nothing. It's not about again. I've been repeating myself um, left, right, and center on this. You know that it's an Indian sports matter, and it needs to be sorted in Indian sports. And if as long as that is not sorted, there is going to be no progress in regard to the sports passport. So therefore, for me, if you or I, we like it or not, um, that's the reality of where we stand with Indian football at this moment in time. Right. So post sports passport, no movement. OCI players, no movement. Again, it needs to be seen. Right. Have we ever felt insecure because of height? No. So why? No. Right, nearly 2 hours and 7 minutes. Wow, over 2 hours. Didn't realize it today. If you haven't, please do give it a like. 20 of you are watching. 26 likes so far. I think we can do better. If you can, do share it with others as well to join in our conversations. If you haven't, please do subscribe to the channel, especially those of you watching afterwards. I always see that about 30-40% of people watching it deferred are non-subscribers. We stand 4,758 to help the channel grow, share other things, you know, and therefore watch the short videos. I did something today in regard to YouTube. Could it be a good solution for ISL broadcast? Yesterday did something on FC Goa and their opponents in the AFC Challenge League. Can you sell the ISL IFL clubs to lower divisions? East Bengal's opponents, of course. Um, Earlier this week, the Desi Ballers versus Arunfoot OCI starting 11 challenge, where Zoeb and I put together out our starting, or at the moment starting, and the Tata fiasco, what's happened, my statement on Sky Sports, and all those things. Do watch those videos, do share them, do like them, do push them, because without your help, Arunfoot can't grow. Issues in the countries are different. Currently, they're not keen to discuss about sports. But show them it has nothing to do with that. It is at a different level. So therefore, you guys are always saying, "Oh, it's a parliament, parliament, parliament." No, it's for the government to sort out and let them do that. I don't know, sir. It's just a guess without any real thought behind. But the ways things are going, Mr. Kalyan, Mr. Chobe might get re-elected. That's my gut feeling. Let's see, Simon. As a lot of people will tell you, "Oh, all of these things are being done for the election, blah blah." You know what? The election will be sorted in the 7-10 days before the election date. Whatever is happening now, whatever might happen even in October, November, if and when the elections happen, yeah, um, then it will be decided. It has, right? Is Kalyan the front runner? Does Kalyan want to stand? I don't know. Might Mr. Patel come in? Might someone totally different come in? Might, right? So a lot of people are talking about a lot of things at the moment, and let's wait and see what happens. We are the best in cricket in the world. Just look at the national team and domestic structure. As they say, we can field 5 different teams, and all 5 will be able to compete against any team. So, Joel, you might be able to say that. I don't know enough about cricket to be able to say that. Height, weight doesn't make a difference to performance as a manager or management. Okay. India versus Brazilian will have many politicians joining in as well. So we would for Kalyan to get re-elected in elections. It has, as I said, sure, it has nothing. Again, so then your logic would be if this game goes down south, he's not he won't be able to get elected, right? Let's wait and see. This is the problem, that people are interlinking things. We are not interlinkable. There is too much of gyan without knowledge in Indian football. That is our biggest problem. Everyone wants to have a say on things where you don't know. Will SAF happen as scheduled or chance of getting postponed post New Zealand friendly? Deep, let's wait and see. India is worried now about the September-October window. The FF has no idea about what's going to happen next. Paichik will not fight the elections. Sure, let's wait and see. Is it true Imami came back as sponsor for East Bengal? If yes, good news. Uh, yes, they have. My other question then is, has it failed? Have they failed in their investment talks? That would be my question for East Bengal club. Is it good news? 100%, it's good news for them. But again, as sponsors, they will surely give them less money than what they would have given them as their investors. Right, 2 hours 11 minutes. Let me slowly come to an end. Once more, the reminder: please do like, please press the thumbs up. If you haven't, share the videos. If you haven't, please do subscribe to the channel. And yeah, and watch the short videos on mine, or the explainer videos. I shouldn't call them short; they're actually quite long. Explainer videos, and Amit says do more short videos of OCI and about Indian football and do video with live matches. Amit, I will try and do, and so I feel good when club football is back. Premier officially kicks off today. Yeah, enjoy. Go will start the Asian company without any competitive match. Good job, Simon. We don't know. It was a 50-year-old brand. I'm surprised this is still around. Okay. With that, thanks. Good night, and let's see. I'll try and catch you tomorrow.